Hello, Jerry here with Season 5, Episode 47 of Ask Jerry Tachoir. If you'd like to ask me a question, simply go to my website, which is tachoir.com. It's spelled Tachoir.com. And in the upper right-hand corner is a little Contacts tab. Just click on that and fill out your information and ask your question, and perhaps we'll do one of these videos. You could also leave a comment on this YouTube channel down at the bottom. Sometimes it takes me a little longer to find that to get back to you. But anyway, there's two possibilities, and look forward to your questions. Today's question, I found this one to be somewhat interesting, something I've also noticed. Hi, Jerry. Love your videos. Learned so much. Thank you. I've seen you live at the North Sea Jazz Festival in Den Haag, Netherlands. I was so impressed with your ease of playing. Even though you can obviously play fast, you always seem smooth, relaxed, and in total control. I've noticed a lot of younger players, and pros as well, really working hard and just pounding the bars. Your ease of playing and great dynamics is my goal. Could you talk about your concept and how you make it appear to be so easy and relaxing to play? Best, Michael from the Netherlands. And this is something that I've noticed as well. If you go to YouTube and do a search for vibes players, you'll see a lot of what I call the young lions that are coming up. And generally these are two mallet players. Nothing wrong with two mallet players. Don't get me started on that thing. But that's a different style, a different way of playing, and it's a different way of actually treating the instrument. And but anyway, a lot of these younger players are really working hard. I mean, they're just clobbering the instrument and banging as hard as they can with the loudest mallets they can find. And to me, it's somewhat obnoxious. I mean, I don't like the sound of their instrument, and their playing is just random. Now, let me go back a couple of years. When I was studying at Berklee College of Music in Boston, I was one of Gary Burton's students. At that time, I was probably, I mean, I was always a four mallet player, but I was always, at that time, a hard-hitting player as well. I played aggressively, and I was always trying to play as good as I could, as loud as I could so I can be heard, and really using my arms and playing hard. And then I played fast too. I mean, it was just part of being young. You feel like you have the energy, you can do it, you just play fast. Now here's the fact that I found out. When you play fast, where every note is just random notes going up and down, chromatic scales, whatever, you don't hear any wrong notes because you're not pausing long enough on any note and on any particular chord to hear a dissonance, that's a wrong note. So a lot of players, they found that out too, and they're just playing fast just to get through the thing without having to make it obvious that maybe I don't really know what I'm doing, or I'm harmonically struggling here, but if I play fast, you're not going to hear an issue. So, I mean, I see this all the time. I mean, anybody can do that. That's like just randomness. That's just a bunch of notes. Now, at one time, again, this was shortly after I guess I graduated from Berklee, when I started my professional career. I found out that as I was playing really hard, like I started getting a lot of issues with my wrists started getting sore and hurt. My elbows got hurt. They were really sore all the time. And one time I was playing, and I remember playing so hard and so aggressively that all of a sudden I got an electric shock in my elbow. I mean, it just like zapped me. And I remember talking to a friend of mine who was a doctor, and I told him what happened. And he said, oh yeah, well what's happening is your muscles are controlled by electric impulse controlled by your brain to send electric impulses to the muscles to contract or expand. And basically that short that you're feeling is because you're overexerting the muscle, and the muscle is basically telling you, whoa, I can't keep up with you, and it gives you that it's an electric shock, it actually is. So at that point I realized, if I want to have any kind of longevity in this career, I got to figure out a way to play clean and nice and accurate and do what I want to do without beating myself up. And then about 12 years ago, a friend of mine said, hey, Jerry, let's go to the YMCA and take this yoga class. And I mean, I knew a little bit about yoga, and I really didn't understand the philosophy of it, but I said, yeah, all right, let's go check it out. So we went to this class, and I became aware at that point where the teacher, I mean, it's about holding poses, obviously, and it's about flexibility, but more so what I got out of it was the breath. The teacher would say, all right, hold this pose, now inhale, hold this pose, and then exhale. And I'm breathing through it. I'm finding out that the breath became real important to help me to get through the exercise and to hold it. And you know, when you exert yourself, you're supposed to like blow out, and then when you relax, you breathe in, and it gives your blood to your oxygen. So what I found with my playing at that time was when I went to go play fast, I was actually holding my breath. I was just trying to get through these lines real quick, which is the dumbest thing you ever want to do because your body is screaming for oxygen, for energy, yet I'm holding my breath. So after I took this yoga class, I started changing my philosophy when I came to the instrument. When I come to the instrument now and I play, I try to breathe through not only phrases, but individual lines. And if I'm doing something aggressively, I make sure that I'm breathing properly through it, exerting, inhaling, you know, the whole concept, and being more aware of the breath. And that has changed my playing, I think, for the good. I'm more relaxed now. I have more energy to play. I think my playing sounds better because the melodic lines kind of flow a little bit more natural, and they have a nice breath where they stop, and I'll take another breath, and I'll continue a line, and it just seems more natural. And this is something, you know, I encourage my students and people like that are playing the vibraphone or any instrument actually to be aware of the breath. The breath is so important to control the natural phrasing of the body and the mind and the music that you're trying to play. So I go through that all the time, and I'm really trying to breathe through it. Now, regarding the young lions, again, they're playing. Okay, so if you're a two mallet player, the instrument is different for you in regards to it is then more of a linear instrument, like a saxophone. You're playing jazz, you're playing melodic lines because you have two mallets. I mean, you could play two notes at a time, but predominantly you're playing single lines. And that's okay. That's a style that you go for. Personally, I guess I'm a frustrated piano player. I want to be able to play harmony. I want to be able to have everything available to me. And I found that four mallets is the only way to go. That this gives me the option to, at any time, I could play a chord. At any time, I could play an arpeggio with very little movement to get to the, the wide notes of the instrument because I can use all four of the mallets to get there. And it's a different instrument when you play four. It becomes more focused on being able to harmonize and being able to play additional notes and to be able to essentially support yourself as a soloist. And that was important to me because I do get a lot of calls for solo vibes where it's just me, and I have to be able to harmonize myself and add a bass line and play the melody and things like that. And this extended range Bergerald instrument gives me even more room to work with. It goes down to C, and I love it so much. It gives me the flexibility of just having a bigger, fuller sound on the vibes with my four mallets. So that's kind of my theory, and it comes down to the breath to be able to relax your body, get in a posture that makes sense to you, and play your instrument with grace and dynamics and flexibility and phrasing and breathe through it. And you'll find that if you do that, I think you'll like you're playing a lot better than maybe it was before. So that's my advice, and I hope somebody would comment on this. I'm kind of curious if this resonates with anybody out there. That I remember talking to a fellow vibes player about it, and he agreed that the breath is something that we're maybe not that aware of, but we should be more so to make our music sound a little bit better. Anyway, Michael from the Netherlands, I appreciate your question, and I hope this helped you so much. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.